I'm Paul.
I'm Devin.
Together, we're Dads and Dice, two dads who like to play some games during our free time.
That's right, and today we are going to be taking a tour of all Stonemaier games in our review of Rolling Realms. Rolling Realms is a 1 to 6 player roll and write where you're going to be playing over 3 rounds, each round consisting of 3 random realms that all kind of play off each other and are all themed after other Stonemaier games. Each round you will take 9 turns rolling dice and using those dice, manipulating those dice, and trying to score as many stars as you can. After 3 full rounds of the game, 27 turns, the one with the most stars is the winner.
Yeah, so let's talk about setup just a little bit. Setup in this game, honestly, this is one thing that I absolutely love about this game. It takes me 3-5 minutes, somewhere in there, to set it up because literally, like Devin said, all you're doing is you're drawing 3 random realms from the deck of 11. The thing that takes the most time is getting everybody else to find those matching realms in their deck. But, it's a set of dice. You have the cards, you have your markers, and then once you have that out, that's it. That's the setup. It plays probably within the 30-minute range. It can be a little bit more, it can be a little bit less, but getting it to the table, getting it played, setup, takedown, all of that, I would say under 45 minutes for the most part.
Yeah, and so it's just a simple roll and write. The really kind of beef of the game is the different realms that you have and the fact that every time you play, you're drawing 3 of the random realms and they all will play off each other differently, right? If you get the Charterstone realm and the Scythe realm, those are going to interact, and whatever realm, those are going to interact differently if it was Charterstone and Between Two Cities or whatnot. It's really, that is kind of the bulk of the game, is getting those different ones and figuring out how to make these realms work with each other.
Yeah, and what's awesome about those realms is if you know anything about any Stonemaier games, they really work. The realms that they have in here are really kind of mechanically similar to what the game actually is. Devin mentioned Scythe. So in Scythe, you have a top action and you can choose to do the bottom action. And that's what this one is as well. Wingspan, there's a realm for Wingspan, and it's you want to have a specific number that indicates the wingspan of the birds. You have Euphoria, which is you want to stay in a certain range of numbers because that's where you want your workers to be. So it's really it reminds you of all these other games, and it's like, man, now I want to go back and I want to play that game, and I want to go back and play that one. But just the way that they were made to resemble those other games was done really well.
Yeah, and I think that is a lot of the fun of the game too. Busting this off of the shelf and seeing the different the Scythe, the Euphoria,
Viticultures,
right? Seeing all those and the way that they mock the actual game, that's a lot of the fun of it. Gameplay wise, it's a roll and write, and I would say kind of a more basic roll and write. There's not a whole lot of deep strategy. Now, with that said, there is a lot of manipulation of the dice and collecting resources and kind of sequencing. And because of that, it can play slower depending on the people that you're playing with. If you've got a person kind of like myself that really grinds and mass out things, then there can be way more decisions than probably the weight justifies of this. But ultimately, getting to see the different realms, that was a lot of fun. They've also began to incorporate promos from beyond Stonemaier games, and if you're into the game, it's probably worth checking out the different promos of games that you really like. We were fortunate enough to get both the Architects of the West Kingdom and A Feast for Odin, 2 games that we both love. So it is neat in that aspect.
And even with those promo packs, it's, for a Feast of Odin, is you're trying to complete the little islands. And that's not the point of a Feast for Odin, but that's a really cool little thing in it. So, it's a game for gamers, right? It's kind of like, oh, this is reminding me of those other ones, like what we were saying. Going back to Devin's point of, this game is as strategic as you want it to be, right? Like, I can bust it out, 10, 15 minutes, just kind of marking. If I really wanted to take my time, I can really look at it and really analyze, okay, I need to do this realm first, and then I'm going to trade in my pumpkins to adjust my die, and then I'm going to use my hearts to reuse that realm, right? So you can really make it into this deeper game than what it is. And honestly, for me, that makes it more of a solo game for me. It's not one that I necessarily want to play with other people, just because I don't want to have to feel like I am slowing the game down or I'm speeding the game up, because again, it's really dependent on the person on how they want to play that game.
Yeah, so there's, basically no real player interaction.
Yeah, there's none
in the game at all. I think maybe the rules talk about person rolling the dice.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's what it is.
But the truth is, you could probably just have the person that likes to control things be the one that rolls dice, and perfectly fine. You don't break anything there. But yeah, no real player interaction. Just kind of, okay, we're all using the same thing. We're gonna see, and that's how a lot of roll and write games are. But I kind of agree with Paul. I think if I'm playing with a group of people, this is probably not the roll and write that I'm choosing to play. Mostly because, just like Paul said, this one can slow down way more than a Welcome To, way more than a Cartographer's. Cartographers, you even have the full grid, but because you're manipulating dice, it rolls in, or it falls into like the
role player
type of syndrome.
It's really a puzzle.
Yeah, more. you can overcomplicate and overmath out what you really want to do.
Now, going into the solo game, I have been live streaming the solo variant, the mini golf, and I'm really enjoying that one. It actually kind of cuts the game down a little bit. Instead of doing 3 rounds, you're really just doing 1 round, but it's telling you exactly which realms to choose, and it's changing up the rules a little bit, and it's telling you have to get this score in order to move on to the next one. So I feel like that is a little bit more engaging, just because there's actually a goal that you're going for, instead of just kind of randomly picking some ones and then just rolling some dice and going from there. I've really been enjoying that, and I think if I'm going to continue to play the game, it's going to be solo.
So yeah, that's kind of our review of Rolling Realms. It falls in kind of a odd spot, I would say, for us. I would say if you don't have many roll and writes, it's a great one to pick up. If you are familiar with a lot of Stonemaier games, definitely a great one to pick up, just for the little nods that it has to all the games. And if you enjoy it, because it's got so many little promos, you can get things for all the other games that you like, and that's going to be a lot of fun for you personally.
And then on top of that, I will say, I think this is a great traveling game, right? In this box, there's cards, there's dice, and that's it. That's all you need, and markers. I think this is one that you would be able to take somewhere. Just take one set of the 11 or 22 of the cards. You don't have to take all of it, but you can take it with you, and it's going to pack in really tightly, and you can just get a game out pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, it's honestly
the box is too big.
Yeah, for how small this box is, it's too much. And Paul is absolutely right. You could travel with just a couple sets and the sheets.
Not even the dice. You use your phone for the dice, right?
And you would be able to fit this in the side pocket of a backpack very easy. But really, that's kind of all we've got for Rolling Realms. As always, we really do appreciate you watching this. Please like, comment, subscribe. All those things help us, help our channel grow. We'll see you on the next one.
That was smooth.
That was a great hook.
That was smooth.
Gonna watch the whole video now.